Okay, so tonight our training is going to be about getting back to the basics because in the fall it is super easy to get overwhelmed, and it's super easy to compare yourself, and it's super easy to feel less than. And I don't mean that it's not easy to feel that way in the spring, but in the fall, it's just like different in Cincy. Like there just seems to be a whole lot more excitement. More people are just like doing more things. And when I say like comparing or something like that, you may see somebody doing a gift bundle and then you feel like you have to do the gift bundle, but you don't really want to do the gift bundles and they stress you out and make you angry. And I want you guys to know that that's okay to not do that. Just because you see somebody doing that doesn't mean that's what you need to do. So we're taking it back to basics, and I want everybody to realize that you have an opportunity every single month to completely change your business or to sit in excuses and not change your business. And if you are somebody who maybe just joined, this is going to be some great info for you. If you are somebody who maybe has been with Cincy for a while, but you're feeling like you're in a slump, this is definitely for you. If you are somebody who just feels like, well, I don't really know what to do in my business right now, and I'm frazzled and I'm overwhelmed and I have so much to do, so I just do nothing, right? So this is something that I do, but I didn't really realize like I wasn't tracking it this way. So I have now made the commitment to every single month I'm going to reset like I have to earn shooting star. Because every single month, if you start the month off at 0 and you pretend that you're going to be earning shooting star every single month, you're going to be working your business. You're going to be front loading your business. You're going to be doing the things that you need to do to have a healthy business. So every single month, pretend like you're earning shooting star. If you want to break that down, guys, and I think that's something else that people also get overwhelmed with when they give a big goal at the beginning of the month. They say, let's say 5,000 PRV. And they set that goal when they're on a high from ending September. And then they're a little tired and they like took the weekend off, and then they start Monday and they're just not like as motivated. And then they see they set that goal and they feel defeated. Guys, break those goals down into weekly goals. So whatever your PRV goal was for the month, break it down, divide it by 4, break it down by weeks. But to make it even simpler, if you're going to shoot for shooting star every single month, that averages to $33.30 of PRV a day. Basically a 6-pack a day, 6-pack and cent circle a day from the 1st to the 15th to earn your pretend shooting star every day. Now, we know that as you continue to grow, you can probably do more than that. But if that's something, if you're just feeling super overwhelmed, get you a calendar and write 33 PRV and check it off as you go, if that is something that you need to do. But you should be resetting to earn shooting star at the beginning of each month. So, and in addition to that, if you are a leader, when we sponsor someone and we bring them in, what do we tell them their first goal is? We tell them their first goal is shooting star, which is to sell 500 PRV in the first 15 days. And if you're not training your people to earn shooting star, I highly suggest that you do that. You can't make them, but I'm going to tell you right now, the people that earn shooting star, those are the ones that are hungry. Those are the ones that are working. Those are the ones that I know that I need to make sure that I'm reaching out to. But listen, if we're asking brand new people who don't know a dang thing about this business to earn shooting star, but you as a leader aren't trying to earn shooting star, even if it's shooting star restart, we've got to lead from the front. You can't ask somebody to do something that you aren't willing to do. So start your business like you're shooting for 500 at the beginning of every single month by the 15th day. make sure that if you're doing that, that's going to set you up for success. Okay. Um, and no, you're not going to get the awards for doing your shooting star restart if you're pretending to do this, or you're pretending to earn sensational start, which I'm going to get to. You're not going to earn those actual tangible rewards from Scentsy, but you know what you are going to earn? A healthy business that's continually bringing in new people, that's continually challenging yourself. And that's something that I see a lot of people in this business do, is they get comfy, and nothing grows from comfort zones. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's easy to sit in a comfort zone because you feel good, or if you've been a consultant for a while and you have recurring PRV that you feel like you don't really have to try very hard for because customers are reaching out to you and you're posting on social. But if you're just chilling and you're not in your comfort zone, or you're not challenging yourself, you're not going to be doing the income producing activities to continue to grow your business if that's what you want to do, right? So again, when I said reset your business every 70 days, in the sense of, if you start today as your join date, sell 500 within your first 15 days. And then, within your sensational start period, you have PRV to earn and you have new teamies to sponsor. If you start out trying to earn one of the sensational start levels within your first 70 days that you've reset, and you don't earn it, that's a great way for you to be able to self-reflect and see, well, what wasn't I doing if this was a restart? And guys, guess what? Scensy's done that before. They've done a sensational start restart incentive. I didn't earn sensational start level 3 when I first joined. But when we did sensational start restart, your girl earned it, because I wasn't going to sit back and not do those things. So think about the things that you do from the very beginning. So if you are a brand new consultant, you're joining and you're helping them reach shooting star, what are you doing? You are going live on Facebook with your kit, hopefully, or you are sharing on social media that you got your kit. Guys, if you're brand new, I really, really, really encourage you to do that, because everybody knows that Facebook Live is scary. It's scary. So it's not crazy for you to ask your sponsor to be on with you when you do your live, or ask a couple girlfriends to go on there and just comment on it while you're doing it. Your supporters will do that. Your mama will do it. Somebody will do it if you ask them to do that. And that will help you, right? So that's what new consultants are doing. Seasoned consultants, when you get boxes in, go live, do a sniff session. If you're not doing that and you're simply relying on just posting flyers or whatever, you can't get upset when you're not getting engagement, because people want to know you. They're not buying from Scentsy, they're buying from you. And that's what makes a difference. So another thing that people are doing when they first join, they're making their list of 100 or their Frank's list. Raise your hand or talk to me in the chat box. Tell me if you actually have a list of people written down, not in your head, written down. I want to know. And just so that you guys know that I'm not over here running my mouth about something that I don't have, I've got this list right here. And I know you guys are probably thinking, well, that looks short, but I have it all, my people, written down. And I would suggest every, if you want to do the 70 days or every 3 months or so, redo that list. Because if you are just relying on the same list, you can't expect for people to just fall into your lap. And so something I heard today when I was kind of preparing myself to come on here, you can call it a list of 100, you can call it a Frank's list, you can call it whatever the heck you want to call it, but write down all the names. Just get them out of your head, get them on paper, okay? And after you do that, you can categorize those names into people that are your warm market Your warm market are people that you really, really know, like your family, your close friends, things like that. Your cold market are people that you know, but don't buy Scentsy from you already, or somebody that you want to buy Scentsy from you or join your team. Because this is the thing. A lot of people get frustrated when they've made their list of 100, but the only people they put on that list of 100 are people that they already actually talk to every day. And I'm gonna be honest, my warm market of people support me the least. And I wish that was different, but a lot of times the people closest to you don't support you as much as a stranger because I don't know why, but you've got to get outside of your warm market. And I'm not saying go cold message a bunch of people, but you always have to be updating your list and meeting new people. So, doing that is going to set yourself up for success. And I just get into the habit now of every few months, I completely redo my list because there's going to be people who I don't need to write down anymore because they've joined my team or they're hosting parties for me. For the most part, my list of 100 or my Frank's list is more so people that are not yet buying from me that I want to keep in the back of my brain. Because let's think about it. When you're trying to book a party or whatever, and you're like, well, I feel like I've asked everybody. But then if I go to that Frank's list when I wasn't trying to book a party or whatever, I can read all these names that didn't pop into my head when I was specifically trying to do something. So that is something that you should always be growing. Okay. Something else that we ask our brand new team members to do, we ask them their why. We ask them their why. Why did they join Scentsy? Tell me why you joined Scentsy in the chat box, because I have something to say about that. All right, to take care of my family, extra income, to buy from myself, to get products, not live paycheck to paycheck, pay off medical bills, to get Scentsy free, supplement, discount, to have something to do, to help a friend, and it turned into something bigger, to show myself I could do it, extra income. Exactly, guys, exactly. Now, if you just want to be in this to buy from yourself, that is 100% fine. Nobody is going to fault you for that. Like, we're here for it. But if you want to grow a business and you want to make extra income, I want you to put a number on that in the chat box. How much extra money do you want to make? Nothing's too big. Nothing's too small. If you just wanted to buy from yourself, you don't have to, I mean, that's fine. But I want to know monthly, what would you like your paycheck to be? I want you to put a number to it. Amen, y'all. 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, at least 5,000, 10,000, 5K, 4,000. Yes, 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 yes. And I mean, I've got chills. Y'all know I get emotional when it comes to this. If you just want to buy from yourself, we're here for it. We're fine with it. But all of you guys that are saying that you want to make 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, guys, I'm gonna be real. I've seen $80,000 in 1 month on someone that I know go into their bank account, not even in the fall. So I want you guys to know that it is absolutely possible, and there is room for every single one of y'all at the top, and there is room for every single one of y'all to be making these numbers. Every single one of y'all. I want you to know that. But I also want you, everybody that just typed that in the chat box, I want you to write it down on a Post-it, on a picture, on a, this is what I did. I'm real ratchet. I don't like my handwriting. And so, and I'm very visual. I need something in my face because if I'm having a bad day, I will make an excuse until it's like midnight and I can't sleep and I'll get up. But so I obviously have larger goals than just a $20,000 a month paycheck. I know what my big 5-year goal is, but right now, this is what I'm working towards, a $20,000 paycheck. And this picture is right here next to my desk. I made it in Word Swag and sent it to Walgreens because I want to see that that's what I'm working towards. Because if not, it's very easy to get lost in the sauce or let a bad day or a crazy customer or not stable team member throw you off course. But if you can keep it in your face, your why has to be strong because you cannot make excuses and make money at the same time. You just can't. This business is a marathon. It takes a lot of consistency, and that's what makes or breaks people, is whether or not they're willing to stay the course and whether or not they have a strong enough why. Because if your why isn't strong and you're just kind of doing it just because, you're going to be able to make an excuse that your kids were acting crazy so you didn't do anything all week, or you were busy so you didn't post anything on social media. You're going to make an excuse. But your why is important to evaluate because your why is always going to be changing. Circumstances can change in the blink of an eye. And you could decide one day that you want to make this a business instead of just being a hobbyist. But knowing your why and knowing why someone joins your team is important because you don't want to push them to make a $10,000 a month paycheck if all they want to do is buy from themselves, right? You want to make them feel comfortable. So resetting and making sure your why is strong enough and making sure that you can see it. The other thing that is very, very important is to make sure that your story on your website is updated. And I know that seems super silly, but nobody wants to look at a picture of a warmer or like the buddies or the weird picture that's up there for your website if you don't ever go update it. Nobody wants to go and read that generic message. And guys, I've gotten really good customers and new team members who have joined because they read my story. Jada, who's actually on this call right now, I didn't know her at all. She reached out to me because she watched some of my YouTube videos and liked that I put my trainings out there for other people to learn from. And she joined me because of that, not because I knew her. We have 0 friends in common. I had no idea who she was. So what you're doing and what you're putting out there, it matters. Because if you're a lead consultant or above, you are going to begin like, you'll be on the consultant locator. So if somebody doesn't have a Scentsy consultant and they're wanting to buy from Scentsy, Scentsy's not going to take their money without assigning it to a consultant. If you've ever gotten an order on your orders tab that says Scentsy.com, it's because they typed in Scentsy.com and you got assigned to them. And I've done that before. I needed a 31 consultant and I didn't have one. And so I went to try and find one and I went through to see who actually updated their website. But if I couldn't see what you look like or like anything like that, like you weren't taking your business seriously. And guys, you don't have to, you don't have to make it like a huge ordeal. Save your story to a Word document and then just go and update it whenever, just every few months. But updating that is important, okay? Having fun. Sometimes people that have been in this business for a while will get caught up in all of the to-dos and stop having fun. And if it's not bringing you joy, stop doing it. If it makes you crazy to do mystery bags or to do anything like that, stop doing it. Do something that brings you joy and that you have fun doing. I mean, yes, sometimes things have to be work, but guys, I genuinely look forward to Mondays. I look forward to waking up and being at home because I chose to be, and working in my office and taking care of my team and taking care of my customers. It's not work to me. And so if you're doing something and it's not bringing you joy, stop doing it and find a different way that's going to work. Back to basics. Another tip is everything doesn't have to be perfect and beautiful. If you don't have a lot of time, don't go and make like a flyer. Use something that you can find. When you just started, you didn't have labels. You didn't have a stamp. You wrote your name on your stuff. It's okay. It's okay. Bring yourself back to the basics. At the end of the day, being a basic in Scentsy is all you have to be. Just be basic. All we need is catalogs and testers. If you're having a hard time, like getting people to buy, how many people have you asked if they want to smell your testers? How many times have you done a live smelling scents? We work for a company that has the best fragrances out there. And I used to buy, before I joined Scentsy, I would buy just from reading our website descriptions, like on the scents, because I didn't have a consultant near me. And they were always pretty on point. I never really got anything that I hated just from the descriptions. But lots of people want to smell the things. Just get back to basics. Get the testers in front of people. Get them to smell it. Okay. When you are getting back to basics, do you actually use our products? Do you actually use them? Like all of them? How can you sell a diffuser if you've never used a diffuser? How can you tell somebody how our sugar scrub is if you've never used it? How can you give a scent example if somebody says, hey, do you have a scent that's like marshmallow pumpkin from Bath and Body Works? Your girl hasn't been in Bath and Body Works in over 5 years, but I surely can Google and see what scents are in that Bath and Body Works candle. And then I can figure out what scents are like that based on ours. But I couldn't do that if I didn't know our scents. So using your product training guide and using your testers to know the product is so important. It's so important. And let me go back to that when I say, like, are you using all of the products? I am absolutely not saying to go and spend your own money on using or like buying all the things. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're not, it's going to be harder for you to get people to trust you because they're not seeing you use them. And I can promise you, so Sandy just said, share what you use. I don't use the clips, so I don't share those. I will when it gets colder out, but right now Texas is so hot. So absolutely. And I may just get it a couple times and share it a few times and save the video. And you can repost the video in your stories or whatever, but sharing how you are actually using it is what is going to make people trust you. People don't buy from people they don't know, like, and trust. And they don't want to just see a flyer. They want to see that you're actually using it. And I can't say that I don't know when the last time I sold a travel tin was. Probably never, because I don't use them. And so I don't share them a lot. Not that they're not a good product, but I use my mini fan and scent circles and car bars. I don't use the travel tins. But what I also realized is I was spraying my bed with Scentsy Fresh every day and never sharing it with anybody. So I was never selling Scentsy Fresh. But ever since I started sharing what I'm already doing, I sell the heck out of Scentsy Fresh because I'm sharing what I'm already doing. It's very, very easy for most of us to share our warmers and wax because that's what most of us actually joined for. or that is the product that got you hooked on Scentsy. But as you're getting back to basics, ask yourself, what are you going to do if you have a customer who doesn't want to use warmers and wax in their house at all? Because I do have customers that are like that. They're like, my husband has asthma, I've got allergies, I can't do that, but I want to support your business. But they buy washer whiffs from me every month, or they buy the hand soap from me because they realize that if they do the moisture medley, they're getting the hand soap for free. So check yourself, because I have to check myself too, that you're not only marketing warmers and wax. Because yes, that's the bread and butter, but if that's all you're marketing and that's all you're sharing, you're putting yourself in a box, because not everybody uses that. So check yourself on that. So when it comes to booking or getting your name out there to grow your business, that the only way to continue to grow your business is to meet people. You ain't going to meet people sitting in your house by yourself. You're not going to meet people by not trying to book a party. And the word party just scares so many people off. Stop using the word party. Say gathering, say scent event, say sip and sniff. I can't even talk. Say have a personal sniff session, have a coffee and talkie, and meet somebody anywhere with your testers. That is the biggest thing, is to get the smell in people's noses. And when you can't just post on social asking people to do a Facebook party or asking people to take your bag. I post about it and you're going to see other people post about it. But for the most part, we don't get all of our bookings from that. We get them from asking people. Because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Always. You're deciding for someone. You shouldn't decide for them. You can decide no for them, but you can't decide yes for them. So if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Make it personal. Voice text them. And I don't think that's something I've talked about a lot. Instead of sending them just like a message that you have saved, voice text them so that they can hear you're excited, that they can hear that you say, I just want to give away as much Scentsy as I can in October. Can I, or will you help me do that? Like, end it with a question, and it should be about them. Yes, you're going to get the benefit of meeting new people, but you have to get bookings and you have to be meeting people. When someone wants to order, don't just take their order. Ask them right then and there if they want to host a quick scent event, if they want you to give them a couple of scripts or texts that they can send out to their friends or family so that they can bundle those orders together and get it cheaper. Ask them if they know anybody else that might want a 6-pack, or do you have any gifts that you need to order? Ask them for referrals right away. And while you are already on the subject and talking to them, I very rarely, I mean, obviously I do take orders. I have to when people don't want to gather orders from other people, but it's super simple. That's how numerous orders last month turned into way over $200 because somebody messaged me wanting to spend 80. And I'm like, girl, are you sure you don't have anybody else that wants to go in and order with you? Like, we get you to 200 and then I can bundle all your stuff. Like, yes. And Blair, that's literally what I should have started out with. So Blair said, ask them if they want to get paid off of it. If they say no, then you can default to the party. If they say no, then you can take their order. But you should always lead with the opportunity. But just taking it back to basics tonight, bookings were something that I really wanted to talk about. And if you are brand new, or if you are somebody that's been with us for a while, it's never too soon to sponsor, never too late to sponsor. And you don't have to know everything. People ask me questions all the time I don't know the answer to. We'll figure it out. But it's always better to gain a team member, then just take that PRV, because they have they have better relationships with their people than you do. They're going to be able to take care of their people better than you can because of the relationship that they have. The last two questions that I want you guys to ask yourself when you are just starting your business, we would ask somebody that's brand new and somebody who's maybe in a rut or whatever, is ask yourself, are you actually building relationships with people? When I say building relationships, I don't mean asking them for a sale. I mean asking them how they are, as a person. That means telling them that you think their shoes are cute, or that their makeup looks good, or whatever it is. Building relationships with people is what this is all about. Because if you're only doing it for the sale, people are going to see that. Building relationships is something that you can never not do. And ask yourself, have you met anyone new? Because there's so many people that I hear that I can't get anybody to book a party, I can't get anybody to join. But when I say, well, how many new people have you actually met this month or connected with this month? And they just kind of look at me. Well, there's your answer, guys. You can't keep pulling from the exact same people, because think about it. Half the people that are on my team were my customers. I would have no more anything if I didn't continue to grow my relationships and business with people, or relationships and stuff with people. Otherwise, I would have nobody to even sell to. And I know that Blair and I were talking about that today. She sponsored so many people that everybody has to, but she sponsored so many here recently. She has to be super intentional with going out and meeting people. And you've got to go where the people are, right? You've got to get out of your comfort zone on social media or whatever else. So ask yourself those questions. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, I'm going to make this really quick. Let me make sure. I'm going to share my I'm not going to share my screen until I get this pulled up. I'm going to pull something up and then I'm going to share my screen. And a lot of you guys have probably seen this before. Some of you may not have, but taking it back to basics, guys. If you are brand new, or you are somebody that you feel like you just need to reset, this is going to be a great thing for you to look at. This is called the Daily Power Hour. As you go and you do this, you won't necessarily have to print it out. But when it says power hour, that does not mean that you have an hour to sit down and work your business right now, because that's not feasible. But if you're having a hard time holding yourself accountable, or if you're having a hard time figuring out exactly what you need to do, this is a great place to start. And the top goals always need to be income producing activities. So that means following up with customers, having sponsoring conversations, booking conversations, etc. But these vital behaviors are things that need to happen every single day. Just like I said, I don't post a lot from the news tab. That's because that's your job as the consultant to go and read and look at. Same thing with the team page, the training center, the Cincy Consultant Facebook page, and then your upline. Those are things that you should do daily to continue to grow. And then it says improve. Something that I have always done, and I'll notice that my business starts to, and my mindset slacks off, is when I stop improving myself. My goal every single day is to learn something new. Doesn't have to be just about Cincy. It can be something super simple. But if you make the commitment to learn something new, then you're always going to be growing. So these right here, when it says follow up, because if you work a full-time job, trust me, I've been there, done that. You don't have a ton of time to work Cincy, right? But you can work your business in an hour a day, Sometimes people break it up even more, but I never had an hour to just sit. I may have had 15 minutes before the bell rang and school started, and I would do some networking and talking to people about the joint opportunity and writing their names down. Why did I write their names down? Because it held Chastity accountable, and it made sure that I was actually going to go do that. And I actually just did this too, because I noticed myself slacking off, and I just ripped it. But it's a Post-it note that literally says, have you connected with 5 people today? Right here next to my computer. So that when your girl wants to be online shopping, instead of doing the things that I needed to be doing for my business, that's right there in my face coming from me. Have I actually connected to 5 people today? And I say that to myself because I'm an introvert. I am perfectly fine not talking to anybody all day. Like, that's fine with me. I'd be great if my husband only lived here a couple days a week, like, because I just want to be left alone sometimes. But like, I catch myself not doing those vital behaviors, but I'll go like do team mail or customer mail because I don't have to talk to anybody, because talking to people is exhausting for me. It's not my favorite thing to do. People say all the time, oh, you're so good at talking to people. Have you actually had a conversation with me? Because something stupid's going to come out of my mouth, I promise, and awkward. Like, that's why I do porch drop-offs and like run away, because you never know what I'm going to say because it just comes out. But these are the things that you can and should be doing. 15-minute spurts. And if you can stick to something like a power hour, then you're always going to be staying on top of it. And the one thing that I really want you guys to realize is that if you don't have a lot of time, take it back to basics and only do the things that are going to make you money. Making a sample doesn't make you money until you hand it out and follow up and do something about it. And not always does that sample make you money. But instead of wasting time making flyers, go out and talk to people. Because like I said in the beginning, this business is definitely a marathon, and you're not going to go and share all about Scentsy Fresh and Counter Clean and Washer Whiffs in your story today and then sell $2,000 tomorrow. You have to show up consistently. You have to continue to show up and continue to show up and continue to be in people's feed and continue to build relationships with people. And I highly encourage you to train yourself on like follow up in a sales business. It doesn't have to just be from Scentsy. Like, statistically, it takes following up 7 to 8 times before somebody actually commits to the purchase. Is that always true? No, but statistically, that is what it is. So just remind yourself that that is part of it. And this business it can be very overwhelming, but it also can be very simple. And if you just stick to the simple things, because that's what makes you happy, I suggest that you continue to do that. And if you just started, don't try and go and do everything. Do the things that matter. Launch your business. Try to earn Shooting Star. Let everybody know that you are a Scentsy consultant. Seasoned consultants, try to reach Shooting Star Restart every single month. Strive to earn Sensational Start. Learn something new every single day. Okay. Does anybody have anything you guys want to add or ask questions about or anything like that? So Amber said she strongly suggests investing in the AMI app, which is a app that helps you follow up with customers. I use it, I pay for it, and that is exactly how I follow up with customers. Because otherwise, introverted Chastity will just hide. And that one gives me the notification. So I love that. Yes. And the really good thing that I love about AMI is that it's not just a follow-up system that is telling you to go and ask for another sale. It's telling you to go in and be a human and ask them like if they actually liked the scents that they got, if their stuff actually got there. If they tell you that they really love one of the scents that they got, tell them that it comes in the other products, like whatever other products that it is, but you don't have to follow that up trying to get a sale. Be a good human and have good customer service, and that's going to continue to help you grow. So Kim asked, when my goal was to connect with 5 people, were you connecting through social media, in person, or all of the above? I don't put myself in a box like that, like to say if it has to be through social or if it is like in person. So I just say 5 people in general. Just because right now I don't always like leave my house to like go do stuff, right? So I have it right here next to my computer. And then I also have one downstairs in my half bath that asks me that, because it's something that I definitely need in my face until it becomes a habit again. It was very much a habit for me for a while, and then I sort of slacked off. And so that is where I had to like revamp that. But on that power hour where it talks about sharing the opportunity and prospecting and all of that is going to cover, if you're doing those things, that's going to cover you in every other area. So if you're being intentional with your time and doing those things in those quick 15-minute spurts, that's what's going to continue to grow your business. If you just started, ask people, do you have a Scentsy lady? What do you use to fragrance your home? Like, just, you've got to go out and talk to people. And that's the hardest part, is getting over that. And once you ask so many people, no doesn't bother you, because guys, they're not saying no to you necessarily. They're saying no to the opportunity. And I actually just got I'm going to tell you about the power hour sheet in a second. I just got the book, Go for the No. Because so many other people in network marketing have talked about that book. And so I had a credit on Audible and I got it, and I've been listening to it. And it's a really good reminder. And it's a really good way for you to, if you have a really, really hard time hearing no, I would encourage you maybe to get that book and like listen to it or read it, just because it's going to help you reframe your mind around what that no actually means. I'm not through it all the way yet. But I will say that there's been some moments where I'm like, heck yes. Like I'm like yelling, saying preach in my office while I'm listening to it. And it's not a book that really gets you hype, but it is a book that's going to like make you self-reflect if you don't like hearing no, or if you feel like you're having a hard time with that. The power hour sheet should be on the workstation. If you type in power hour, otherwise I'll make sure that it's in our team page, or my team page, the leadership page, the director page, and in my Google Drive. You should be able to find it. If you even like Google Scentsy Power Hour, a lot of times those things come up, but it should be in the workstation. Anybody else have anything you want to add or chat or talk about? Just remember that there's just so much information out there, and when you're feeling overwhelmed, just stop. Just stop and only do the things that matter, because I've been in the exact same place. Do the things that matter. All right. Love y'all. Mean it. Have a great night.